Intro. Our show is called Her Story. I'm Nichole Ortiz. This is my friend Sara Abrams. We are going to be telling you all the things. This is not just about hair and skin because you know we love it. This is about real life. We will be talking about topics like perimenopause, ADHD, OCD, raising kids, feeling like you're a single mom, when your man is not around, another one of those things where a lot of people dig deep into those feelings. We want to share those sort of things because I feel like talking about mental health, especially when you're a mom,
Mm.
starts to become taboo, which I think is really weird, right? You're not allowed to talk about perimenopause and ADHD is a bad thing. So with her story, we want to tell all of our truths, all of our story. We're going to get into the nitty gritty because why wouldn't we? Because you've
Yeah.
seen us on live, you've seen us on our pages, you've seen us on Instagram. We do it how we do it.
Um,
So you go ahead, Sara. What you got?
Stories definitely kind of speak for themselves, guys. So, yes, my name is Sara Abrams. I have two crazy boys of 6 and 8. I'm having a third child right now because my husband just came home.
Same.
So, when he's gone for 30 days at a time, it just feels like Disneyland time when he's home for those couple of weeks. So, I've also sold real estate for over 20 years. I'm into multiple markets, and we have just launched this other business platform online, and it has been a whirlwind of emotions and feelings and a platform for us to really share the things that we have going on in a community of women that are going through the same thing that we are. And that's really, I think, what sparked all of this is because our organic reach, when we show up as ourselves, that's when people really connect, and that's when we get the most response. And it's been great, right?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
and I've even noticed, I did a poll recently on my reels and I said, what do you guys prefer? Do you prefer, or on my stories, I said, do you prefer my reels to be like the funny, like where I'm voiceovering, which is most of the time I do that. Or I said, or when I'm like telling you how it is, how real it is to have perimenopause and to struggle with weight gain and to struggle with being tired, but also having to deal with 14-year-old twin boys who are like, teetering me over the edge. And I almost got a 50 for 50-50 vote. And I
Yeah.
love that because I felt like a lot of my personality comes out of those funny, goofy ass reels where I'm just voicing over. But I also feel like I got more followers and more interaction when I was sharing the reel, when I was sharing the dirty, the gritty, the not perfect. I felt like I got so much more comments and commitment to an actual conversation, which we all want, right? We all want that actual real interaction and real conversation.
Yeah, I think more than ever, people are craving connection.
Yeah.
And especially post COVID. I mean, we're only, what, 2 years out of the whole lockdown and all of that stuff. So we went through this huge, like, just revolution on the internet where people were connecting in different ways and really finding that to be satisfying. And when I jumped into Monate, it took me a second to really start showing up to the things and doing that, but the community has allowed me to venture and talk about the things that have really been bothering me, to have self discovery, to have a, a movement within myself, to have a mindset shift, to have a freaking breakthrough,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And you can't go any further until you believe in yourself. And it's just alignment. It's alignment with time, it's
Yeah.
alignment with people. And when you find that, you crave it. And I think that connection comes through because people have the same stuff going on. It
Yeah.
is not cupcakes and cream all the time. It's
No.
not.
No.
It's
Well, and the breakthrough comes, I remember when you first started with Monate and you weren't directly on my team and watching you, like I could see your fire and your fierceness and you weren't afraid to get on in social media and really talk about what you were passionate about, but you didn't have the same passion as you do now. And I'm so glad that like that was just another layer of your beautiful onion, right? Like we all need somebody to pull those pieces off
yeah,
sometimes, that piece that's keeping you in a place that you're not moving forward or you're not living like as big as you could be living. And that's why I love our team, and now with our running chat, like we have so many people in there that are all different places, right? They're under different people, or you're under me or under you, but we're watching this growth happen, and it's in life in general because we
Mhm.
have each other's backs. It's not just, hey, you got to do this for Monate, or hey, did you see the sale? It's okay, I'm going to give you some, some passion and some purpose, and give you like guidance, and we all do it. And it's great to see from every level, right? From every person
Yeah.
that's on our running chat, they go, oh wait, I want to do something, I want to start something, I want to like be the
Mhm.
person who's starting some things. So that's been such a cool growth. So let's jump into our first topic, and I'll let you start because
Okay.
you're the first one to write. She it came up, her idea was the first topic, so we're like first to go.
Oh, for me, oh my God,
Yeah,
I had a whole list. I had a whole list of things to go, but
so many good.
yeah,
Yeah,
I have so many things going. But I think for me, it's like I kind of want to set the tone for where this is going, which we already did a little bit with our introductions, because these are to create feelings, and it's to and also like get you to start thinking outside of the box, thinking outside of your comfort zone, thinking about things that you know you want to say and you don't.
right,
And
right.
I think that that really is going to come through. Like, we're just such a good connection. I love that you talked about how you saw a change. There definitely was a change, and it didn't start until I really shipped and moved to your team. Once I got into your team, it was like you made me do things myself.
Yeah,
And I just remember thinking, I'm on a whole new thing. If I want this to work, I really need to introduce myself and immerse myself into this culture, because it was a different dynamic.
yeah,
And I did that. And once I did, it was like, okay, you're ready, I'm ready.
yeah,
And that was what's so beautiful about you. Once I reached out, it's been all flowers since then.
yeah,
I mean, and I mean that in the nicest way, because we just have blossomed this beautiful relationship. We motivate, we lift each other up, we do all the things that feel really good. And it was just in the beginning, you made me see something in myself that I needed to see.
yeah,
And it wasn't didn't have to chase, but the information, the knowledge, and the power, all of it was accessible. But it took me asking and saying, hey, I'm interested in this, like, how can we make this work, right?
yeah, yeah.
And now here we are, and we literally talk outside of our business, and we talk about life, and we talk about all these things. I'm getting a little emotional. It's kind of crazy, because we're on
I'm
this
like,
roller.
don't you dare, you're gonna make me cry.
I know, right? And
Like,
like every day, not peaches and cream. It's not a walk in the park. We have these things going on, and we have immersed ourselves in our lives as mothers, as wives, as business women, that we forgot how to be ourselves
yeah,
and showing up and being vulnerable. Like,
yeah,
we don't talk about some of these things, and it's like that's really what we're here to do. So
yeah,
we want to give other people the confidence to speak your truth, live your truth, and just be organic,
yeah,
right? Like,
yeah.
that's the feeling that I want our listener to say, that when we're
Well,
crying, they're crying.
it's so easy to get lost in the sauce. And that's what I like. I see it all the time. It's so easy to get into a scroll hole. It's so easy to have um imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize how easy it was until I moved and sort of took away my entire security blanket. My
Yeah.
security blanket was California and Vegas. I knew everyone, my whole team was there. I had established myself. I had, booming, multiple booming businesses. And then when I moved here, I was stuck. I was stuck in this place. I was stuck feeling like not myself. And then, I recently told you, like, I had gotten to a point of like, I don't need this, right? I don't need extensions because, I have nowhere to go and no one cares if I have,
Yes.
the hair that I love.
Yeah.
Or I stopped getting my nails done because I was like, what's the point? I could just glue on, nails whenever I feel like I want to be pretty. And, I stopped doing that. And then, going and tanning or just laying out and just like absorbing the sun or getting that in, I was like, well, I could just go work out instead. And I've stopped all of these things that were really powerful. When
Yeah.
my business was at its height, I was doing all those things that made me feel like me. And they were
Mhm.
like it's like a gift to yourself. Why was I taking away all my gifts to myself? Because I was like, well, it's selfish to want those things. No, it's not. It's self-love. It's self-care. And if I like it, why am I depriving myself of that? And having someone like you on my team where you're like, girl, go do whatever the fuck want you like, whatever makes you happy. Why are you not doing the
Yeah.
happy stuff? Like, go do you. What is keeping you from doing your happy stuff? And again, it's just like all the moms who watch us, the moms who are like, I'm a stay-at-home mom. I take care of my kids. I really don't need Botox, or I really don't need to go get my hair done, or I really don't, because I'm a stay-at-home mom, and I don't want to spend my husband's money to do something that's sort of selfish.
Mm.
And boom, there we are, right?
Yeah.
This is where this business goes. Whoosh. Guess what? You don't have to do that anymore. You
Yeah.
can do this through your phone, either really aggressively or very passively. It's completely up to you.
Yeah.
How much money would you like to make? And we'll show you that we can be real people. We can go all through all the real emotions of life and momming and being a wife and all of the things. But why not make money from your phone? Because you can and because you have time. I promise
Yeah.
you do. Like, I make time on the toilet. I talk about this all the time.
All the
This
time.
will be this will probably be on every her story, just so you guys know. Tell my team this almost every week. I said, you have time.
Yeah.
You sit on the toilet
Boy.
like 3 times a day, 3 times.
Yeah.
Like I do at least. So I could do business 3 times a
20
day.
at a time. That's an hour. Oh,
Yes.
it's all about balance. It's
Yes.
about balance and the want. It's you got to have the want. It's
Yeah.
like we can bring as many people into our circle and into our world as we can, right? But it's
Yeah.
who's going to feel pick up that vibration and show up all the time. That's the difference because maybe we're not for everybody.
Right.
We
Right.
can get a little crazy sometimes, but it's really just kind of an open door, and you find your vibe through your tribe,
Yeah.
and your vibe just puts out hopefully the people that you want to attract into it. And we've got to let the people that are ready to do the work and ready to join us and ready to do all the things just show themselves, and
Yeah.
they will.
Yeah.
They will. And how many breakthrough stories have we heard where it's like, I wasn't ready at when I met you, and
Yeah.
then 6 months later it's fire,
Oh yeah.
so we never discredit anybody or leave anybody out, but
Yeah.
we can show you how, but we can't do it for you.
Right.
And
Right.
that's life. It's not just business, it's this mothering game, it's being a partner, it's being good to yourself.
Yeah.
And like February, I had to schedule 10 days of getting myself ready the end of February. This is how this started for me in February. I said, okay, I'm going to do 10 days where I take a shower before noon and get ready. Sounds crazy, right? But
Right.
how often do if you're a stay-at-home mom, or you're working from home mom, or even if your kids go to school but you sit down and you start doing work before you get yourself ready, you're going to be in your pajamas all day.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of factors that are the thing. But I was just like, I'm not going anywhere. I don't care. And I got less done
Yeah.
sitting there feeling sorry for myself than when I got up and took my shower, put my face on. I
Yep.
didn't wasn't meeting anybody, just the Amazon guy. Don't tell my husband,
A
but
lot.
that might have been the only guy I was meeting
Yeah.
ever.
Right.
But doing that, and then I'm ready for the day. I'm ready to shoot content. I'm ready to go to the store. I'm ready to have conversations with people that I don't know because I feel good.
Yeah.
Friends. But scheduling 10 days out of the month to do it, I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
okay, self
Yeah.
discovery. And now we're almost to the end of March, and it's become a habit. I feel good. Feel
Yeah.
good.
Well, and everyone knows, and that's why Sarah and I decided to do this Her Story podcast, and we wanted to do it in such a way that we are being us, right? Because we
Mm.
could do live and we could do Instagram, and then we can hide behind filters, which is to your point of getting ready, actually doing your makeup, actually getting yourself ready. Like there's not a day I don't get up and make my bed every single day. I
That's
don't.
one thing non-negotiable. I
Yeah,
have to.
I can't even leave the room. I'm like so OCD, I would like lose my brain. I
Yeah.
have to wait for Tito to get out of bed. I'm all, okay, whenever you're ready to get out of bed so I can make the bed, like get
Oh
out
my
of bed.
God. The topic for this is so funny. I'm like, okay, I can't wait to get into our little quirks. But I'm like, okay, are you one of those people that like after you cook dinner, you have to clean your kitchen
Yeah. Oh yeah.
every
Yeah.
single night?
I actually clean while I cook so that
I try to.
everything, like literally every pan, every pot, everything, the counters, the
Do it.
stove, everything are clean before I even serve the meal. Like, because I time it. I'm like, okay, while the meat cooks, I can clean the cutting board. While the pasta or the noodles or whatever it is, or the potatoes are cooking, I can clean the pan that had the meat in it. And I do it all timing. Like and it's completely clean before I serve the meal. And like all that's left of dinner is the plates.
I
So
knew
yeah,
you were an overachiever. I knew it. And I'm like, I have, I would say mine's a good like 50-50,
yeah,
maybe 40 on a good month. But
yeah,
I have those times, and most of it will be like a few dishes because I try to do the same as well. But
yeah,
right now, what really bothers me is that we don't sit down and eat all at the same time anymore. And that's
yeah,
timing, right?
yeah.
So when you guys are all together, do you sit down and eat at the table? Is that one thing that you guys try to do as a family?
So we used to, and unfortunately now that Tito works every single night, we don't get dinner at all, basically.
Yeah,
We only have dinner on Sundays and Mondays, and when our kids are good, yes, we eat with them.
yeah,
But honestly, it's one of those things where we're like, fend for yourselves. You're big boys, you're making big boy bad choices right now. So Daddy and I are gonna go have a nice dinner together as our date nights, Sunday, Monday, and they have to cook for themselves. And I mean, they're very good cooks. So, and I started teaching them really young, but they make a complete freaking mess. And like getting them to clean up to my level of clean is never going to happen,
yeah.
right? Like I still go rewash most of their dishes, and I am like the only one who starts the dishwasher, and I'm the only one who empties the dishwasher always. Um,
Do
but
you
yeah.
tactically stack the dishwasher where it's like a Tetris game, and then you do that, or are you like a loose packer?
No, 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 no. I do it. Well, I do it. Yeah, I have to, and I'll go back in the dishwasher and fix what they put in there because they'll put cups on top of bowl. I'm like, how is it supposed to get clean? Like, it's not gonna get clean. And then they won't wash out their bowls either. So I'm like, there's no little person in there that's like in there scrubbing with a brush, bro. Like, you have to like wash some of it out. So it's really bad. Yeah. As far as like ADHD and being late diagnosed and OCD, my OCD tendency started pretty young, I think around 13. I just got really particular with, and I think a lot of people, right? They have their same shower routine. That's like a
Yeah,
normal thing, right? You put
yeah,
the shampoo in your hair and then you wash your armpits, and then you shave your armpits, and then you take out your
yeah,
shampoo, and
yeah.
then you wash your face, and like you have this routine, right? Well, the younger I got in making my bed and like dusting and how I had like certain things set up in my room, and then I started to color coordinate. So it got really big to me. So my clothes had to be from white to black. So I would literally color coordinate the hues, and they all had to be on the same hangers. And it just got, but I was a mess when I was a little kid. I had like my anxiety of having a clean room was like I would just throw it all in the closet and shut the doors and be like, okay, you can't see it. And my mom's like, ah, like I opened your closet and it attacked me, like, and so well, I had a stepfather who was very OCD also, like all the
Yeah.
walls had to be white. We would only have like specific kind of pictures everywhere. We had to always eat at the table. We had to have our shoes off. We could not watch TV and eat. So I think a lot of that rubbed off because I
Mhm.
was at that age where I
Yeah.
was like trying to figure out who or come into my own. Um, but yeah, like when I first moved in with Tito, I completely like took apart his whole closet, color coordinated just the t-shirts, just the tank tops, just the collared shirts, all of his suits, all of his suit shirts, all of his jeans, all of his shoes. He was like, "Oh, there's my kitty." Mickey. So he was like, "Oh my God, my closet's like a dream." He's like, "I've always wished for a closet like this."
He was like that. I'll marry you right now.
Yeah, he's like, "It's a little psychotic, but like, but again, I have tics too. Like, if when he brushes his teeth and he never puts the toothpaste back where it goes, and
Uh,
he's like, there's
yeah.
a cup for it, like a cup for his picks for his teeth and his toothbrush, and then for his razor. Like, I got like little things that hold all those things.
The dental picks drive me nuts. They're all
Ugh,
over and they're
everywhere.
hard. Like
Yeah.
my husband probably uses the same one all day because he's just disgusting like that. And
Same.
he has
Yeah.
one in his truck that's probably been there since 1982.
You're all,
Yeah, he's something else.
yeah.
He's all mine though. So
Yeah.
lucky.
You're like, I will just own it.
Right?
Um, so that, like, picking up his toothpaste every day, I'm
Mhm.
like, how hard is it to just pick your toothpaste up? But I'm also that way with my car, and I'm gonna ask, like, so a lot of there's two different kinds of women. There's your car's a fucking mess,
Okay, I'm that.
or oh, I don't know what the balloons are happening. I'm like,
I don't know. And usually it's when somebody's watching us. Is there
like a
anybody
celebration. I don't know what movement I did.
on here right now? Is everybody tuned in?
Anybody watching
Who
us?
is it?
But for me, my car is like I feel like it's the only place I can control now in my like whole life. However clean it's going to be.
Huh.
And so I like have this like rose water that I spray in there, and it's always clean, and I'm always getting it detailed. And then I'll go in my husband's car, and he has a Rolls Royce, for God's sakes, and he'll have like takeout and energy drinks and shit. I'm like, this is like a $400,000 car. Why do you have this crap in your car? And he's like, babe, I'm always, in and out. I'm like, oh my gosh, I would lose my mind.
I've got two little ankle biters and they do quite a number on the back seat. So it's like some days I can, and other days I'm like, I just fucking give up. Like I give up. I'm done. I'm done with
Yeah.
it. I'm done with
Yeah.
these.
It's hard. It's really, really hard. It's funny. I have friends who've been over and they're like, your house is not dirty. I'm like, yeah, but if you guys had ever been to any of my homes when I lived in Las Vegas, it looked like a model home. But I worked in real estate and property management.
Yeah.
You work in real estate, but in property management, you have to do the setup of the house, basically like real estate. You have to put the balloons up, then have the warm cookies, but every pillow needs to be perfect and every light needs to be on, and
Mhm.
you like all the things. My house always looked like that. And I had 3 dogs and 3 cats always in Vegas. No one knew I even had animals because I was like so particular. I think you never realize how filthy children are, and in particular, boys.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Like it,
that's a fun dynamic. I mean, I lived in Vegas all my 20s and had a really freaking awesome lifestyle where we had basically a live-in housekeeper. I never did laundry. I never cooked. I never did any of that, and I've tasted what that feels like. And it's not crazy to want that back in
no,
your life, you know,
yeah,
because I'll tell you what, I don't like cleaning. I don't, and
no,
I'm not that great at it. And I'm like, I know why. I mean, I can put stuff away, but like the deep cleaning and stuff, I've got to get somebody over
no,
here to do that every
yep,
quarter. Once a quarter, it's a deep
yep,
clean, and that's a luxury.
yep.
It's a luxury, and I think when we went down to like when we moved here well, it was about 2.5 years ago, we moved from California to Branson, Missouri, and my husband became the sole provider for the house because real
Mhm.
estate went to the dumpster.
Yeah,
And on top of that, I was in a brand new market. So it's starting an entire business over again.
yeah,
So when you've got a one income household and it's coming from your significant other, there's an element of you where it's like, maybe I can do this myself.
yeah,
You touched on that. Like, that's very real. And I'm like, why is it so bad for me to want that stuff for myself? Number one, if we can afford it.
yeah,
And if it's not taking away from anything, but it's
yeah,
adding to the luxury of my life because that's an hour and a half, 2 hours that I can work
yeah,
or do something else. So adding stuff like that back in has felt really good. And having the means to do it myself
yeah.
is better, just being stagnant. You don't realize how being stagnant in a business for a year can really be when your income is over $100,000 and then all of a sudden you're making 20,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, yeah, it's just different. And like, let's face it, I work hard because I like nice shit.
Yeah. I
So
think,
why?
well, and I think that, you know what, I honestly think that all women would think that same way
Yeah,
if they knew really how easy it was. Really, it really does just take self-belief. It really does just take consistency and
consistency.
actually holding yourself accountable.
Yes,
When we as mothers expect our children to hold themselves accountable, right? And we hold them accountable for their choices. Many times we forget that we don't do that to ourselves, where we don't show up when we could. We don't show up when we're sick. We don't show up when we don't feel well. And the difference between the people who make a huge living with this business and the people who do not is their consistency and their time management.
yeah,
It's completely up to you.
yeah. I believe that. I mean, 2 weeks ago, this is the second week of my accountability group. It's life changing. I started with 13 people. There's three that consistently show up out of 13. And I don't feel like the things that I put in there were outlandish or anything crazy. It's an hour out of your day of things that we should already be doing in this business.
Yeah, big
But
time.
I want and my desire has gone beyond business. It is mentorship, it's coaching, it's all of the things that I feel that I was made for. I mean, I can't tell you how many times people have said, "Man, you're the best hype man." Well, you know what? That is a quality that I can monetize
Yeah.
because that is motivation for somebody else to believe that they can do the same things that I'm just showing up to do. Like,
Yeah.
it's not luck. It's just consistency. And then just saying, God dang, you know what? Today is the day that I say, I'm going to do this because I said I would.
Yeah.
And it is a shift because now I don't have to look back in 6 months and say, damn it, I'm starting over. I
Yeah.
was so tired of starting over.
Yeah. Well, and I wanted to touch a little bit on, like, the taboos, obviously, of social selling or just showing up on social media at all. And, there's a common thing right there. Like, you need to find your niche and you need to niche down and you need to be like, everything needs to be your niche on your page, and it needs to all look like this perfect planned out, format. This works for somebody who has that brain set, that capability, right? When And that's why I love that we're going to be talking about things like ADHD, when your brain just doesn't work like that. It
Yeah.
just doesn't. My brain does not work in that way where I can just go, okay, I'm going to make, everything on my page very copacetic, and I'm going to be talking beauty only and skin only because I'm the skin guru.
Yeah.
I I can't. I can't because my brain has so many projects already happening and going on, right?
Yeah.
But on top of that, it's so not authentic and it's so or inauthentic that I can't do it because I don't know if it doesn't hurt me, but it feels so icky. It
It'd be
feels so wrong.
crazy sometimes,
Yeah, it feels like I'm a fraud. And if I
Yeah.
am not talking about things that the moment I'm thinking of something, I'm like, oh, I got to put this on. I got to talk about it. I got to put it on a reel. I got to put it in a story.
Mhm.
But people know when they come to my page, they're going to get a plethora of things, right? But they know what to expect. They know that I'm always going to be real. They know I'm going to authentically talk about things. I'm always going to speak from the heart. If I like something, I'm going to talk about it. Monate is now new and dear to my heart. When I first started, it wasn't. I wasn't interested because I didn't think I needed it.
Yeah.
And then when I realized not only were the products incredible, but the community made me a better person.
Yeah.
That was huge for me because I was lost. I was looking for something, something that made me feel like I had a new purpose. The same thing, when I started talking about digital marketing, a lot of people are like, well, for somebody like that, you're not really supposed to do the course and do all the things. You're basically just supposed to resell it with your big following. I, again, do not go after things like that. I'm not looking to make money off of you. I'm looking to change your life. I'm looking to help you up your game. I'm helping to educate you. So if I'm interested and I'm talking about something, it's not a money grab. I'm not like, I can't wait for you to pay me for this course and do nothing with
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I want you to pay for the course and get real tokens of knowledge, real things that are going to make you pull yourself out of this little box that you've put yourself into and realize that you're so capable of so much more, and you can educate yourself basically for free. It's just, that is how powerful this can be. And, when I started to choose to, speak out really politically, I lost all of my accounts,
Mhm.
all my social media simultaneously, and I was speaking out about child trafficking, and I was talking about things that are very powerful to me and very important to me, and they should be important to everybody at this point, because we see where the world is going, and if you're not speaking up for what's right and for truth and for law and order, then you're on the wrong side. You're on the wrong side of history, and you will know that you'll be on the wrong side of history. So people know that they're going to see me being very vocal and open about it. And a lot of people will say, well, it's going to hurt your other businesses.
Yeah.
I don't care, because
Yeah.
it doesn't, because it hasn't hurt my other businesses, and it hasn't, made people go away from, yeah, I'll get a few, haters, or oh, I'm unfollowing you. I don't
Yeah.
I don't care. That is not going to hurt my business, because those people probably are not asking me about Monat. They're probably not asking me about digital marketing. They're
Right.
probably not asking me how to, speak freely, or how to, make reels that, start to go viral, or get more views. So what you get with me is what you see. I'm always going to be that same person, but I don't have the capability of narrowing it down to a thing. Like right now, how many topics have we talked about?
Yeah, exactly. I had notes for days, and then I'm like, and this is just a perfect example of why we're doing this. Because I was in a mood. I was in a mood earlier, and this just heart lightens my soul. I do this because it makes me happy. I show up because it can completely change where I'm coming from, or how I want to present myself for the rest of the
Yeah,
night. So I was just thinking, oh, and you get the drags, but a lot of this is like, it's just mind over matter. And
yeah,
it's you talking yourself out of the things that could benefit you because you're so used to doing the things that don't.
yeah,
And I think like with you, I know when I'm having raging ADHD day, I will go in my kitchen, every cabinet door will be wide open. And I'm
yeah.
in the there's
Really?
pies everywhere, but I'm hyper focused on
Yeah,
this right now, you
yeah,
know. So there's a lot of things, but I knew today when I was like, my equipment's not working, my headset's not charged, like all of the things, right? And you're like, want to rip your face off. And I'm like, this is the day that I show up, because this is the day I'm gonna be able to connect with somebody on that level. It's not
yeah,
just business, not just life. We've got so much going on, and I think it's just really going to be a fun series. I am so looking forward to it. And
yeah,
it's, even if it's just nothing, there's going to be laughter, there's going to be tears, there's going to be
yeah,
all of the feeling.
yeah,
So I just encourage people to really get active. Like, if you're watching this and you have these feelings, let us know if
yeah,
there's something that's bothering you that you guys want to touch on, or want us to go over, curious if we're going through the same things,
yeah.
all of the things, and we'll do
Well,
that.
and I think we can, I think we can end it now, but I'm going to end with, so this is just a basic, like, synopsis of what we're going to talk about, right? We sort of broke down personalities, what we're interested in, what we'd love to talk about, things that we're all going through personally. I think that we're going to gear our next shows very specifically into a subject, be it ADHD and the struggle of actually why women are, diagnosed late in life, and what the signs are, and how perimenopause, makes it extreme, or the struggles of parenting when the other parent, like, Sarah's husband works, away from home, and my husband is, not home as much as I'd like him to be. And And it feels very lonely to parent by yourself. And we're going to touch on those kinds of things. And you know, just health and wellness and skin and hair and making choices to just show up and be live and to be a leader and to be a mentor is so much more important and impactful than you could ever know. And I can't wait to start deep diving and doing
Yeah.
really fun shows.
Micro topics are going to be really great. So we'll definitely have to have a synopsis.
Yeah.
Because you and I, we're going to go a completely different direction. So I totally agree with that. And I mean, I love it. We struggle with a lot of things, but it's not all going to be struggles. We have to celebrate wins. We have to do all the things. And by no means are we short on any of that. Amber is a super competitor. We have a lot going on in life. And I think right now we're chasing dreams. So every day and every week, we have a lot to give and a lot to say.
Yeah. Yeah, I do. And I love you, my friend. I'm so glad that we're doing this.
Me too.
So, everyone who is watching, thank you for watching. We're going to do some small clips of this so that you'll get pieces and bits of everything. But it's called Her Story. And we're going to be telling her story weekly. So, you'll see this on Friday.
Yes. Yay. Bye, everybody.
Yay!
I don't know how to sign off. That was so good.
I'll just stop recording there. Okay.
That was really